In this video, I want to give an update on the progress of the MPAC project. So the biggest news up front is I actually did find a manufacturer that was interested in bringing this design to market. I was actually very surprised by this because this design is very far from being complete. As many of you know, it's sort of like an offshoot and a side project to the MBAR. The goal was just to create a very affordable PDW that had all the same features of the MBAR. So the company name is Mammoth Arms out of Griffin, Georgia. And I spoke to their owner, and we haven't really come to like a formal agreement, but they are very interested in producing this. The most important thing that came out of that conversation was they were very willing to allow this design to be open sourced. So there will be 3 ways that you can get this potentially if I end up licensing the design to them. The first is you make it at home completely by yourself from scratch with fusible alloys to make the bolt carrier and all the other metal parts. The second option is you can buy parts kits from them, so bolts and maybe some other parts, and you 3D print the rest yourself. And the third option, which I believe most people will probably use, is to buy completed PDWs from them, maybe at around $400 or $500. That's just the initial estimate. Don't quote me on that. So yeah, I was pretty surprised by that. As you know, I've mostly been working on this thing sort of in between when I was waiting for parts to show up for the for the MBAR. But now, given this greater level of interest, I probably will dedicate more time to completing this project. As for progress updates, I reprinted all the PLA mock-up stuff with polycarbonate at 100% infill and painted it. So as you can see, the upper receiver right now is finalized. I also printed out polycarbonate charging handle and a TPU friction piece. So if you look here, there's no spring inside, but it's not going to fall by its own. You have to pull it out and then it can move freely. The friction piece I think is very important. When I had a B&T TP9, one of my biggest complaints on it was the sometimes reciprocating charging handle. So the recoil of the firearm would cause the charging handle to move backwards on its own. So this rubber friction piece or TPU piece will prevent it from doing that. Also, I got a magazine here. There's no bolts, so it's not going to fire or anything. It has the same inspection port window that the MBAR had, so if you open it up, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but you might be able to see into the chamber and see the magazine and the round and the chamber. So other than that, it's just the lower receiver. I need to do the bolt catch and the magwell. The safety and the trigger are done. Then other than that, it's just the bolt carrier that's left. The fire control module is the same as the old one I was using on the MBAR before I switched to a hammer system, so I don't have to do any work on that. So here is the mock-up of the bolt carrier. Probably can't really see too much of it here, so I'm going to move over to the computer and show you exactly in more detail like what I've got so far. Got the OpenSCAD window here opened up to the bolts and the locking piece. These are the 2 pieces of the bolt carrier group for the MPAC. So as you can see here, a lot of it is done. The ejector is done. The extractor hinge is not done yet, and then the roller part here is done, so that's where they will just go. The rollers will be the thing that kind of keeps these 2 pieces captive, so it's a lot simpler than the H&K design. So here's the locking piece here. So the bottom part here is mostly just to add a bit of extra weight to it. This thing is going to be quite light, and I think one of the biggest problems I'm going to have is getting this up to around the 277 grams that the MP5 BCG is at. So I also have here the drawing for the locking piece of the MP5. So if you look here, this angle here is what the locking piece angle is. So like 120 degrees. So this is half of that. So, this is divided by 2. As you can see, like the center of where this is not exactly where the center of this is, and a lot of this is in German. So I've been having some trouble figuring it out exactly how these dimensions go together. But if you look at the OpenSCAD code here, that angle I have here is set to 110 degrees right now. So if you look at the code, I've defined a module where I pass in an angle, and I can just type in, say, like 90, and it will change. So again, this is what I kind of brought up earlier. I haven't really figured out like how like the mathematical function to keep this like lining up. So just now I just changed it to 90, and now this reflects the 90-degree angle locking piece. However, there is this part right here. I think I have to add like 1 or 2 millimeters for the center of it to go up. But yeah, the goal is I need to basically, create a mathematical function for this part here. I already got the angle itself down. If I highlight it here, so you can see this, you can see how this thing is sort of being cut. I already got that part down. I think getting the part where it lines up here, as you can see, like there isn't really a clear place where it looks like it's somewhere in the middle, not exactly halfway. So that's the main thing I'm trying to figure out here. I think the other thing is the striker channel here is 4 millimeters. I'm trying to figure out if I need to make that smaller or make the rollers smaller, because as you can see, it is kind of cutting into that striker channel a little bit. And then also just to get the weight up. So yeah, I think I only spent about 2 or 3 days on this since since I gave the last update. But yeah, that's the progress I have on it so far.